Hello, everybody. Um, I'm a little slow today. Yes, I am aware I'm a bit on the late side. I'm just going to say, yeah, there was too much to do before I started, and so we will get into this very, very quickly. So right now, you'll find that I'm putting up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. The information I'm presenting today is new information. It's not stuff I've presented in the past. So if you're hoping for something slightly different, yes, definitely going to be getting that today. And so thank you for being here, Fred Hubber. I can see you're in the chat, and we'll cover this. I'm going to do a presentation, and then we'll open up and do some Q&A, questions and answers, and build something. We were building town rumours before, so that's what we'll probably go back to doing, unless, of course, people want to do something else, and that's always possible. Any case, grab some food, some drink. Make sure you're comfortable, and we'll get started and cover this topic as best I can. That's that one. Okay. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about building tree houses, or should I say a tree town or tree village in your fantasy adventures. How do you go about doing that? Well, as it happens, I have some material, some information, some guidance for you. Part of I guess, what I did in the past was I used to build stuff. I used to make furniture, I've built houses, stuff like that. So I do have some skills in this area. This is going to be a very broad overview. It's not going to be that explicit because we're dealing with fantasy, not with real world mechanics so much. But bear with me and we'll see how this turns out. In any case, if you're going to make a town from trees where people are going to live in them, it really comes down to building a tree house or tree houses. So you can't really have a hollowed out tree without killing it. So if you're going to live inside the tree, which would be nice, that would kill a tree. Then you don't really have a tree anymore. You just have a dead trunk. That's it. So unless the tree that is hollowed out is petrified or fossilized, it's not really going to work. Of course, there are ways of getting around that, but let's deal with that first. First of all, you're going to need, if you're going to have a town, you need to have a stand of trees that are large enough to support something like this construction, and they need to be fairly close together. They can't be too widely spread. You need to pick a very large tree with no dead branches or dead sections in it, and certainly nothing that is currently rotting. And of course, you can usually tell by what's growing on it if it's a dead tree. If there's fungus growing on it and there's a lot of moss, chances are that tree is heading towards death. Okay? And they can live for a long time as they slowly die off. Next, you need to construct a platform for the tree around, or the tree house, okay, for that house that you're going to put in there, around the main trunk with really strong timbers, okay? Whatever lumber you're using, it needs to be extremely strong. So all your bearers need to be quite thick, quite strong. You can't shortcut that. Bracing around the platform would be absolutely vital. These are usually diagonals, anything that will allow the actual structure of the platform, particularly on the outside, since that's going to be the weakest point. You need to have something that's supporting it, usually angled. Next, materials. The materials you use need to be able to resist rot and erosion or corrosion. Anything that will break down when it's close to something that's living. Because a tree is living, it has a lot of moisture in it, and therefore that moisture will go into the timber. So you need to make sure if you're using timbers, it can resist rotting. If you're using any kind of metal, it needs to be able to resist corrosion. And if you're using anything else that might erode because of moisture from the tree, you need to make sure it can actually resist that. So you need to find the right types of materials to do that. Next, fixing using nails, screws, bolts and nuts. Bolts and nuts are going to be your greatest tool because they give you the strongest support, but of course they'll only be dealing with the structural side of things rather than the cosmetic side of things. Next, timbers need to be treated with chemicals to ensure they do not rot. Tools for cutting, securing and measuring will absolutely be required. So whether you're using a saw or an axe or some sort of machine, whether you're using a hammer or a nail gun, and measuring tapes, anything to deal with making sure that something is level. The plumb bowl and the string line are going to be one of your friends. Okay, the construction of walls needs to allow for ventilation. Whenever you build a structure, okay, it always has to allow for ventilation. Windows allow for ventilation, but you can also put vents into a structure like a house. And of course, doors provide ventilation that can be opened and closed when you need to. You might even have shutters on this thing just in case you have to deal with weather. But the great thing about building something in a tree is it's usually quite well protected by being in the crown of the tree or the head where all the leaves are. Unless, of course, it's one of those trees that loses all the leaves during winter. The roof will need a slope, but not as much as a normal house due to the fact that the tree canopy will probably protect it from rainfall. The reason for a roof is, one, to stop anything from getting in through the top. Of course, you will probably have to clear off your roof quite often, clear out those gutters, maybe you might say, just because of the fact that there's going to be a lot of dead material falling on there from the tree as the leaves die off. A fireplace in a tree house is a ridiculous design goal due to the fact that there's such a high risk of fire, so you need to have a different method of heating that space. Now maybe that's going to take the form of having a hearth that's made of stone. Putting stone in a tree is quite hard, okay? So you might not be going for that. You might look for a different source. It might be that you have a fire, you heat stones, those stones are then carted up with a lift of some kind, and then they are placed in a container that doesn't transfer the heat into the tree or into the house itself, with it causing a fire. So you're going to look at a different way of heating. And of course, insulation, you can always incorporate things like mats and tapestries, rugs, things like that. Setting up a pulley system to allow for the building materials during the building process is actually really sensible, because you need to be able to bring everything up to the level wherever you've positioned your house in the tree. It might be quite high, it might be quite low, it doesn't really matter, but you need to have something to get everything there. Also, you need to be able to transport passengers either with a ladder or some sort of lift system, probably using a pulley and rope, to get to the house itself. Now, magic will absolutely be required if you want to seamlessly integrate the concept of a house, okay, or a building into a living tree. It's just one of those things. You can't do it any other way, because if you look at things in terms of how things work in the real world, to transfer that over to a fantasy adventure, you have to use magic. And of course, you don't really need any other answers to how to create a tree house when you're using magic, other than we did it with magic. Okay. Now, I hope that was useful to you. I have provided you with a lot of odd and more practical methods for building a tree village, a tree house, a tree town. I'm hoping this was useful to you, and if it was, great. I want to say thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon. I want to thank you for watching and listening to what I had to say, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Okay. That was a weird one today. I'm going to say it right now. That was a weird one to do. It really, you know what it spawned? The reason why I decided to do it is because of a thumbnail image that I had. And I was like, oh, let's talk about a tree town or a tree village, which means tree houses. And I'm like, oh, hang on. I kind of have some expertise in that area. I have built houses before. And oh, that's right. I have made furniture, so I do have some skills in this area. But it's kind of it's an odd. I'm going to say it right now. It's an odd topic. Let's go through the chat, and then we'll get on to whatever you want to do. If you feel that we have not covered or discussed the concept of the tree town and building one, you let me know. If we haven't done enough on it, we'll discuss it some more. Otherwise, we're going to move over, and we were building a list of 100 different town rumours that you could incorporate into your adventures to actually get your players either sidetracked or going in the right direction, whatever you're trying to do. Anyway, how's it going, Fred Hubber? So 16 hours, longest advance notice I've gotten from YouTube. I'm quite surprised that you got notice that 16 hours. Did I even put this thing up 16 hours ago? I don't know that I did. Maybe I did. Maybe it is 16 hours. I don't even think it was public 16 hours ago. That might have been unlisted, but I don't know if it was 16 hours. Is pretty amazing. Must have popped it out as soon as I put it up. Anyway, imagine a society of squirrels and the overlord squirrel forcing them to gather nuts to fill the hollow tree, and when it's full, to hollow out more trees. Well, yes. Well, here's the problem. When you hollow out a tree, you're probably killing it. That's the problem. I mean, cavities in trees occur. Animals will bite and eat into them, but that's not necessarily rot, but it does affect the tree's ability to feed itself. So, yeah. Next. Train tree branches to weave together to form the floors and walls a living tree. So what you're talking about there, Fred, I believe, is... Hello, by the way, Mike. Hi, Mike G. How are you doing? What you're talking about is, as it grows, you're actually forcing the branches while they're small and flexible to sort of grow a particular way, and so you overlap them. It can be done. You've got to be very careful because it's very easy to break those branches as they are growing. So you've got to be very careful. Can they only bend so far? That's the problem, right? And if the tree wants to go one direction and you're trying to force it in another direction, because here's the thing with branches, right? When you actually try to weave them in, it's not so much a problem for the walls because you're going up, but it would be a problem for the floor because you're not going where it wants to go, which is towards the sun. But then again, we're talking about fantasy, right? Yeah, like I said, solve all that problem with magic. Anyway, okay, so I might just pull your little idea there, and I will drop that into here for now. Come back to that because this is very much a magic thing. You'd have to be able to do that using magic rather than anything else. Because practically, as I said, walls fine, floor probably not going to work, and there'll be times when it wants to go and grow in a different direction. Druids with spells specific to making the branches grow in a manner desired. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yes, you could certainly rely on druids. That's a good idea. Fred's always full of very good ideas. We don't always agree, but he's always full of very good ideas. Anyway, what else have we got here that I've missed? Heating stones, then lifting doesn't get around the difficulty of lifting stones. It just makes the stones hot when they lift them. So there are ways of moving the stones. You don't pick them up with your hands, right? Okay, you'd have to heat them and transfer them into, and you can use like a stick with a U in the front, you know, or I mean, we used to move. Look, when we were doing the hangi in my country, New Zealand, we have a thing called a hangi, where you cook the food underground, right? You dig a hole. This is very commonly done in the Pacific Islands, and so you would then heat all the stones up in the bottom, but you still have to move the stones around at some point, and they do have tools for doing that. There are methods for actually shifting and moving the stones and transporting them from one location to another. It's not always you just chuck all the stones in the bottom and then throw a whole lot of stuff on there to heat up. What do you got here? Hey, just stopping in to support and say hi. Just missed it though. Okay, no problems. Okay, all right. Well, it's not going anywhere. I don't hide my live streams anymore. They're always there. Okay. Some still do the old peg together construction, no nails, wood joints with wood. Yes, you suppose you could use the peg joint. I've never been fond of the peg joint. The reason why I'm not a fond of the peg joint is you always weaken the timber by creating a hole for the peg to go into, which is why they created a thing called the nail and the screw. Even if you drill a hole for the nail so it doesn't crack the timber, or drill a hole for the screw when you put it in, it's still removing less timber than a wooden peg. A wooden peg, like a dowel, really, they're never very strong. Okay, I made baked Alaska. I made baked Alaska over fire in a pit in a Dutch oven. I believe you. I believe you. Okay, so let's get on to our rumours, and we'll see how far we get with this. I don't know if it's going to work today. Today seems very quiet, and an activity like this requires a non-quiet room for it to work. It requires people who have got lots of ideas to throw at it, because it's 100 different ideas for rumours in a town is a lot. We've covered all sorts of different things in the past, but this is a huge undertaking to try to pull this one off. Not that I'm saying we shouldn't do it, and I'll certainly share what I have here in a second with you, but let me just grab my phone. It's not going to work unless there are people who have ideas to throw at it, because if I have to do it on my own, probably not going to go down well. Now, let's have a look. Let's pull this up. Come on, come on, come on. Phone is coming into line. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's start off with the first thing that we need to deal with, which is I'm going to ask you a question, and we'll see how we go. So let's have a quick this poll. How's this going? Have you included a tree town in your adventures? Yes, 12%. No, 38%. Actually, I'm not surprised. I'm not really surprised. It's not something we do very often. Incomplete, 12%. Interesting. Just watching, 38%. All right, so let's ask our question. Hashtag, what are some random rumors that can be included in a town? Okay. I believe that's the question I'm putting up. What are some random rumors that can be included in a town? We always like to do something like this when we're creating towns, whether it's one in a tree or one not in a tree. So let's try that. And I need to go over to here, and we'll have a look at what we've done in the past, and then we'll build from there. How's that sound? Okay. Drink of water. Okay, so here are town rumours, 100 town rumours. So very quickly, so you know where we're up to. We're up to about 47. I haven't put them into alphabetical order because, one, it's impossible. I don't think I could do it. Okay, so let me read through what we've got here so far. If you have any ideas of your own, feel free to throw them my way, and I will include them onto the list. If you don't want them on the list, then don't mention them. Very, very easy. Okay, so here we go. The peculiar weather patterns we've been having. Okay, the peculiar weather patterns we've been having. That's not natural. It's said that a storm giant has taken a liking to our mountains. Well, okay, mountains, storm giants. Yes, okay. Butcher is selling orc meat as pork. It's like the Chinese restaurant, takeaway restaurant, is selling chicken, but it's not chicken, it's cat and dog, right? It's usually cat, right? Because they're like, no, dog tastes like something else. A few shady fellows were seen at the well recently. Okay, so this is the poisoned well, potentially. The town mayor is having an affair with the local bartender. Right. Or barmaid. Bartender, barmaid. We'll keep them both. Next. The judge wears nothing under their robes while on the bench. It's funny. I see Fred has already included a few ideas. Granny's cat is missing. We will include Granny's cat in a second. Scuttlebug says that adventurers are going to be made illegal to leave town or to sign up to the town guard. So either if you're not out of town, you're going to be part of the town guard. Find out why, because this is a good adventuring hub. Okay. The sheriff takes bribes. Yeah, well, don't they all? Next, the local people, the last people to go to whatever the town name is, never came back. Okay, or to wherever, never came back. Mayor is increasing the tax rate. Okay, of course. They say the old widow who lives at the outskirts of town can talk to animals, and that's why she lives in such harmony with the wilderness. Take your pick of person having an affair. Right, so somebody's having an affair. That's what it's saying. Healer runs a brothel in the back. Okay. A few animals have been found slaughtered recently. Yeah, it's got to be aliens, right? Strange lights have been seen in the sky at night near the local mountain. I think that was me. It might have been somebody else. I think that's the first thing I thought of. Slaughtered cows are the thing, right? Next. One of the merchants provides wares at prices consistently lower than his local competitors, and there are murmurs that he's not exactly making an honest living. Of course not. Alchemist gets his recipes from Asmodeus or some other demon or devil. If you repeat Asmodeus 3 times in front of a mirror, he will show up. Okay, so these are all supposed to be just rumours, not necessarily true. Word has it, a young boy from town has recently discovered he has magical powers. Right, well, that's going to cause problems. He's trying to keep it hidden, but you can't hide such things for long. Right. The eerie howls from the forest edge aren't from wolves, but rather werewolves, or so claims the local herbalist. Okay. The town well's water is becoming increasingly murky. Some say there's a dark entity polluting it from within. Look, if there's any town thing that can happen, it's that somebody poisoned the water well. Anyway. Hello, I see we have somebody new in here. It's not just Fred and Mike. Good to have you. This is 125 Riders 81. We're just going to call you Ryder. How's that sound? I think it's too much of a mouthful. 125 Riders 81. I'm going to have trouble. I see your suggestion. I'm still going to keep reading through. So if you come up with ideas, throw them this way. I will put them in a second. I'll just do a little port over. Okay, next. What else? A business is a front for the Thieves Guild. The old oak tree in the town square is actually a Trent, sleeping until a town is in dire need. Of course it is. There you go. That's what you have if you have a tree town, right? A young maiden has recently given birth to a healthy child, and rather curiously, the child also has hooves and horns. Well, that's going to cause some problems. That's preferred. Okay, Rider 81. I can deal with that. That will distinguish you from Pale Rider, who jumps onto these live streams from time to time. Anyway, next. Did I see this? Yes, I did. Old farmer something speaks with the devil. Okay, so that's why his pumpkins are so big. So the old farmer speaks with the devil and has big pumpkins. Of course. There's a sword and a stone at the peak of some sort of mountain. Right. This is very much Sword and the Stone, if you hadn't figured it out, people. For those of you who know the Disney story, Sword and the Stone goes back to King Arthur, Camelot, Excalibur. Okay. Balin the fisherman is never seen when there's a full moon. Right. Yeah, because he's a werewolf, right? Probably. That's what it is. The mayor is in league with a local goblin or orc tribe, trying to scare people into letting him increase the town guard with mercenaries from a mercenary unit he has interests in. Right, of course. The guy who wears funny hats is a witch. This is for my benefit, by the way, for those of you who haven't figured it out. The sudden infestation of rats in town is believed to be the curse of a displeased witch. All right. The local spells and potions dealer has been diluting his healing potions to make more profit. Doesn't everybody do that? Is there anything wrong with that at all? Grandma something's cat is missing and she's frantic. So we got a missing cat. We had a missing cat last time. We got a missing cat here already. That unassuming house cat that frequents the inn is said to be a shape-shifting silver dragon in disguise. The small island off the coast has buried pirate treasure. Of course it does. So you can see some of these will be red herrings. Some of these will be potentially tied to your main adventure line or adventure hook or goal or whatever. Or it might be just a little side quest. Okay. I swear that old farm up on the hillock is haunted. Every 10 day at noon there are strange things happening in and around the hill. And I can tell you it's nothing good. Old Gorm. Okay, all right. Rumour has it a group of doppelgangers has infiltrated the town, slowly replacing key figures. Well, it's probably Fandolin. Okay, next. The mountain beside the town is going to erupt into a volcano any time now. Great. Awesome. Dante's Peak. Next. Here we go. The peasants are revolting against the local baron. Every single medieval movie you could possibly imagine. Robin Hood. Next. A circle of mushrooms has appeared in the town green. Fairies are supposedly behind this, making the site for a midnight reveal, whatever. Okay, cool. Whatever. So you can see there's a few ideas here that have already been suggested. This is why I'm going over them. Anyway, a vicious animal is roaming the area, killing man and beast alike. Beware. It's got to be beware. I think I'm just going to get rid of that. There's a lot of these that I need to just trim a little bit. There's a bit too much going on. The eerie whispering wind at the town outskirts isn't just wind. It's said to be carrying the laments of spirits trapped in the ancient ruins. Okay, all right. The local ruined castle is haunted by soldiers killed in the wars. Right. Baron or other noble is preparing to make war on neighbouring nobles. Right. Here we go. This is King John. Next. The wizard demands a year's service for answering a single question. Right. Don't go and ask the question from the wizard because you're going to get yourself into a lot of... Yeah, that's called indentured servitude. Next. Every set time period, someone goes missing. Okay. Let's just go, people are going missing. People are going missing. Missing, and the victims seem unrelated to the local constable. Makes any sense whatsoever. So we're going to get rid of that bit. Okay. The pixies are turning the milk sour. Of course they are. That's why that milk doesn't taste any good. Town must sacrifice a maiden every month to the dragon. That is... Is it Dragon Quest? There's a movie by Disney that was put out many years ago. It's very, very old. It's not called The Dragon's Lair. I think it's called Dragon Quest. I can't remember. It's something like that. Anyway, there's a dragon in it, and they sacrifice maidens. Okay, next. Don't go wandering through the woods at night. There are already missing farmhands. Okay, so we've got a few. We can continue on. We have a list that people have been providing. So I'm going to switch over to my face, have a drink of water, transfer your ideas that you are sharing into this list. Maybe tailor a few of these along the way. We'll see how we go. So, all right. let's have a look and see how well this is going to work. A lot of jumping back and forth. This is why I'm doing it this way with my head. So first one, Fred Hubbard. Tree cities are a classic thing for elves. You need to learn tree cities. Well, the tree town, tree village, it's just, you're just extending if you're going cities, right? I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I know a city is harder to build than a town or a village. I get it, Fred. Granny's cat is missing. We've already got a cat missing. Dragon hasn't been seen in a century. Maybe it's safe to go loot his cave. So this is the Hobbit. This is the Hobbit. Let's take the Hobbit. Thank you, Fred. We'll plug that in there, and we'll get rid of that. And the dragon. The dragon hasn't been seen. Yes. That makes number 48. We might have a few overlaps. We'll see how we go, people. Next. Signs of the prophecy are happening. Need to develop your prophecy. Right. So let's just go with signs of the prophecy are happening. That's good enough. Let's plug that in there. There's another rumour. Plenty of things you can do with that. Okay, good. Next, what else? Oh, so Rider 81. All the citizens lock the window shutters at night, and no one will say why. Ooh, okay. So that's completely open. There could be anything going on there. You can do just about anything you want. All right, let's plug this little sucker in. Let's do this. All right, nice. Okay. And where are we next? Oops, don't want that. Oh, there we go. It went up, it went down, and we're there. Okay, so next. The circus is coming, and I hope they have elephants. The circus is coming. So this is our rumour. Copy. All right, let's put that in. We've got a circus coming. Possibly. No guarantee. The circus is coming. Okay. Hoping for the elephants. Isn't everybody? Next. There is a fairy ring in the centre, in the clearing in the woods to the north. So a fairy ring we've already got. I think we'll leave that one alone, because we've kind of got one that's very similar. Next. Peasants are always revolting. The peasants are revolting. I think that's what we'll do. We'll go with the peasants are revolting. Oh, by the way, Fred Hubbard is a patron. If I had forgotten to say that, Fred, I do apologise. I try to remember these things. Okay, the peasants are revolting. Always revolting. They are. Because they got good reason to. Everybody's getting in their way, causing all sorts of problems. Barmaid is a witch. She turned me into a newt, but I got better. I'm gonna leave the other thing, but I'm gonna go the barmaid is a witch. And actually what we will do is we'll get the barmaid is a witch, but I will kind of modify that just a little bit, Fred. Just a teeny weeny bit. The barmaid is a witch. She turns people into lizards. There we go. There we go. We'll have that one. A newt is basically just a lizard, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Next. If the goblins have been driven out, what's stealing my chickens? Okay. Okay. Dear. It's probably now it's a fox. The most likely culprit. It's the fox that showed up. After the goblins left, you got a fox. If the goblins have been driven out, what's stealing my chickens? Okay. Nice. Well done. Right, 81. I've got it down. Yeah, dragons actually prefer sheep for supper. Yes, they do. That's right. I don't know if I've told the story, but I actually dropped a sheep that somebody decided to shoot at. Had a dragon flying above them. It had a sheep in their hands, and they decided to shoot at the dragon, and it dropped the sheep on them, and it hit them, and they died from the impact. They got bombed by a sheep, and reached terminal velocity, and the impact was quite severe, quite a lot of damage. So they hurt. Yes, killed by a falling sheep. I don't recommend doing it. These are one of those. That was one of those times when I obviously had a bit of a mental fart going on in my head as a game master. Every time someone dies, their biographically magically appears in biography magically appears in the town library, but there has never been a librarian. This is a weird one. Writer 81. Is this? I get the distinct feeling some of this might be coming off ChatGPT. Is that what's going on here, people? I mean, you could do it that way. I suppose. Never been terribly fond of ChatGPT, even though I have kind of used it occasionally. It's not very good. Anyway, every time someone dies, it's the wrong there. That's right. That's why I got confused. Their biography magically appears in the town library, but there has never been a librarian. Okay, all right. Okay, so we've got that one down. All right, next. You wouldn't know how to use it, Writer 81? Well, it's clearly because you don't need to use it. You've found that your brain is sufficient to make it happen. We get exposed to so many different things. I mean, over the years, you probably remember a lot of the tropey rumors that you discover in a town, right? And so it's not that hard to pull them back. Anyway, we've got your idea, Writer 81, and Fred, what have you got here? My brother's uncle's cousin's barber said he knows someone with a treasure map. Oh yeah. So this almost feels like that scene in the Ant-Man. It's Ant-Man 2 when they're trying to track down somebody, and is it Michael Piana? Is it Michael Piana? I'm not sure. And his his way of explaining why he knows something is just mental. It's a great line. It does stick out. I created random rumors for over 40 years. ChatGPT is for the amateurs. I believe you. Hello, Derp. How are you? I disagree about ChatGPT. I think it is good. It isn't perfect, but gives some decent ideas very quickly. Well, it's proven to be very useful for you, Derp. I totally get it. Anyway, let's go back to where we were. Writer 81. Molehills seem to keep popping up in the town square, but they are 50 feet high. What? 50 feet high. Molehills. Do moles create a hill or just a hole? Is it a hole or a hill? I'm confused a little bit. By the way, Derp is also a patron. Thank you for being here. So let's see if it's going to be a mole hill or a mole hole, because right now I'm not too sure. But they are. We're going to put that in there like so. Mole hill. Let's try that. Molehill. Is that a molehill? Oh, maybe there are. A small mound or ridge of earth pushed up by a buried mole, bearing a burrowing mole. An unimportant Okay, so there are mole hills. Okay. Oh, well, now we know. Well, I know. Now, I didn't know before, but I know now. Let's keep it going. How am I doing for time? We're doing fine. It said, an ankeg spray can be used to make a mighty strong spirit. I'm sure it is. Is it alcoholic spirit? I think that's what we're looking for, right? Alcoholic spirits. It said an ankeg spray can be used to make a mighty strong alcoholic spirit. There we go. It is added to the list. All right, got it. Yep. Thank you for that, Derp. Making mountains out of a molehill. Classic. All right, here we go. The sky is falling and a piece landed on my head. Has a strange little rock. Oh, okay, I see. I see where you're going with this, Fred. I got it. So this is... So I'm just thinking landed. There we go. And the guy's falling. There we go. The sky is falling and a piece landed on my head. Has a strange little rock. Okay, so that's the lead up to that. Okay, cool. What else we got here? There is a terrible song that cuts through the woods in winter. So Rider 81, is it heavy metal? Is it the Carpenters? Is it rap? I'm not a huge fan of rap, people, if you hadn't figured it out. Anyway, here we go. I know that's not the in thing to say. I'm like a folk song sort of person. I kind of prefer folk music. Although, can I even say that? I've got Whitney Houston's greatest hits playing in my car as I drive to work and back from work for the last, how many years? I think it's since I was unemployed, when I was made redundant. So that's almost, that's got to be almost 5 years I've been running it. I think that CD is going to be dead very shortly. I don't think it's going to be able to do anything. You can make magic items from teeth of dragons. Can you? Good rumor though. Good rumor. Like it. Here we go. Let's go here. You can make magic items from the teeth of dragons. Yes. Now go find yourself a dragon and pull out their teeth. Do some dental work. What do you got, Ryder? No. Here we go. What do we got? Moles make a little mound around there. No, we've got that one. You've already explained all that stuff. Dear. I see it. It's funny. I'll give you that. It's pretty funny. They say there's a thieves' guild that meets beneath the tavern. If you knock on the third barrel to the left in the cellar, they'll let you in. Ah, okay. All right. They say there's a thieves' guild that meets beneath the tavern. If you knock on the third barrel to the left in the cellar, they'll let you in. Okay. I have got it, Derp. It is there. Thank you. Next, I'm going to drink some more water. I've been talking way too much. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the chat to keep doing its thing, we're gonna rock on back to where I've been typing all this stuff. Here we go. This is what we have. So we were at about 28, and we've added a bunch more, which I've been talking about. I will add some of my own. I guess. There are giant rats. Of course there is. Giant rats in the basement of the... it's going to be the tavern, right? If there's anywhere, it's going to be in the basement of the tavern or a general store. Basement of the general store. This is because every low-level adventurer has to go and kill giant rats or rats until they can level up and be strong enough to deal with real monsters. Okay, next. I'm just going to refresh my screen here. I might need a lozenge. My voice is starting to get lost here. Get rid of that. Cool. Okay. The last. Okay. The supply. Caravans to the town keep getting stolen. By local bandits. It's always going to be local bandits. Something like that, anyway. What's the next thing that I've had floating around? The old hermit at the old hermit that lives in the forest is actually a shape-shifting beer. Okay. Oh. Oh, all right. So, how are we doing there, people? Looks like you've got a few more coming through. I'm just going to have to wipe these glasses because it's fogging up for some reason. I'm not too sure why. Just unzip this and get this cloth out. And I'll just wipe my glasses so I can actually see properly. Next. So the supply caravan, so almost all of these. So this one here, local bandits, and supply caravan to the town. This is basically the premise of the Lost Mine of Phandelver, and pretty much everything under the sun. Even Keep on the Borderlands has kind of got something like that going on. In fact, it does. There are bandits around, and they steal supplies. So it comes from there. And then the old hermit, forest, shape-shifting bear. Come on, you know the character. You know the character. You know which character it is. It's from The Hobbit, obviously. Okay. All right, so let's wrap on over to our creative audience who have come up with some new ideas. So, Fred Hubbard, you have included... What have you got here? Not the right one. Let's try it again. So I'll plaster these in. Someone has harnessed lightning to operate constructs. Well, that sounds bad, doesn't it? Sounds very bad. Okay. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, said the ugly sister. Really? Of course it did. We don't know where this leads. I mean, is that just a saying, or is it a rumor? All right, let's do this. We're almost up to 70, as it happens, by the way, people. What do you got here? The old fisherman that always brings in the most and biggest fish made some dark pact with an eldritch being from the deep under the sea. From deep under the sea. Okay, all right. Yeah, because if you're lucky, there's got to be some reason why you're getting success and others aren't. Correct? Absolutely. So Rider 81. Something lives in the sewers below the city. Okay, so this is a city thing. We'll include it. City has sewers. Town probably does not. But that'll do. That's good. We've got it. You know what it is? It's always crocodiles. Turns out to be a log. Okay. The baker's daughter and the noble's son have been meeting secretly at night. If their families find out, there'll be trouble. Okay. So, well, I think somebody's gonna find out. I'm pretty sure, based on this, that the family's going to find out. If it's a rumor floating around, it's only a matter of time. So, okay, Fred, what do you got here? If you catch the golden fish, it will give you a wish in exchange for being released. Aha! Not bad. Do I recognize it? Romeo and Juliet was just the one just before, basically. So let's see. I think this one, I don't know this one. In exchange. Right, okay, right. So we've got the golden fish, we've got it. Yeah, well, that's if you have alligators in your part of the world. Anyway, no, I don't. If you eat watermelon seeds, they will grow inside you. Yes, they will. Ah, dear. So this is Fred. I know where this one comes from. I've got to include it, even though it's silly. There's very, very little that can survive your stomach, unless it's got an outer coating on it that your stomach can't break down. And usually what your body does is it just pushes it through, so it doesn't have a chance to grow. Have you ever seen the mayor and his twin in the same room? Me neither. Aha, yes, Derp, absolutely. We have the prestige here. Next. Rider 81. There are strange noises coming from the crypt these days. Yes, there are. We'll take that. And sitting here. Do. And we'll include this. Voila. What's next? Do I want to take a break? It is top of the hour. The volcano is about to erupt We must sacrifice another maiden. So we've already got an erupting volcano, Dante's Peak. Basically, somebody took the idea from Dante's Peak. So I won't include that. Sacrificing a maiden because a volcano is erupting, I suppose, is slightly different, but I think we'll leave it alone. Um, legend has it. Legend has it that the town's founder was actually a shape-shifting dragon, and his hoard is still hidden somewhere. Isn't that Dragon Heist? Isn't that Waterdeep? Isn't that the story of Waterdeep? That sounds so familiar. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure it is. Right. Next. Okay, I'll tell you what. I will take a break. You can keep going, and I will highlight where I've got up to, and I should be able to find where I need to go back to. Okay. How many do we have so far? Let me just at least tell you. There are 77. I think if you, at the rate you're going, you're probably going to get to 100. Hashtag keep the town rumors coming. That is there. I will take a quick break. I'll let you guys plug away at this. Here's the problem. If it gets completed, then I have to release it on Patreon at the end of the week, don't I? You're forcing me to do more work. Let's make it clear. I haven't really been doing all the work. You guys have been doing all the work. I've just been writing it down, or even cutting and pasting it, and then making a few adjustments occasionally. It's really all I've been doing. Anyway, let's get Arnold to look after you for 5 minutes or less. I'll be back. Oh, there we go. I'm almost in place. All right, here we go. Hello, I'm back. Let's have a look and see. You guys have been working very, very hard. So, the last one was legend. The Fountain of Youth is near 6 other fountains, and each is magical. Whoa, okay, that causes some problems, doesn't it? Got it, Fred. It's gone down. Next. On foggy nights, a ghost ship can be seen sailing on the dry plains, a remnant from a time the area was underwater. Yes, the ghost pirate ship off the shores is probably the other one you would have, right? I don't recognize this one. Next. Rumors need to some be true, some be false, and some just be old wives' tales. Absolutely. Totally agree. A hauntingly beautiful song can be heard from the lake every full moon. Oh, this is very familiar. I don't recognize it as a story or a movie, but I do recognize it as an adventure that I've played in. And I think it might be... yeah, I ran an adventure a few years back that had that very thing taking place. Okay. So Derps, you guys have really been motoring, haven't you? People have been having terrible nightmares lately. There's talk of a creature that feeds on the dreams roaming around the town. Now, this is familiar. What's it from? Is it... It's not Hellboy. It's something else. It's an old horror. I'm sure there's an old horror movie that's kind of like this, or a thriller that had that storyline or idea. There's a castle in the clouds with immense treasures. Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk. There we go. There it is. It's Jack and the Beanstalk. Got it. Next. A lot of town rumours. Let's see. He's not been the same since he met her. He just looks so drained these days. Yeah, it's Keanu Reeves and is it Stoker's Dracula? It's a yeah. Did that? I recognise that one. Dear. Yeah. Nice. Let's put that one in. I'll just modify things just a little bit. Okay. The old beggar at the town's entrance was once a powerful sorcerer. He traded his magic for a moment of true happiness. Oh dear. Hang on. Now, I'm not sure what that is. I don't recognise it. It's almost like this the Shrek story. Is it number 3 or number 4 or whatever the heck it is? But not quite. Not quite the same. Got it, derp. It's down. Okay. Nobody becomes a lich on purpose. It's failed clone. It's a failed clone spell. Ah, I see. So there's no recipe for doing it. You just mishaps. Okay. Absolutely. That I've heard quite a bit from people in games. On certain nights, the lake reflects a different sky. Some claim it's a portal to another world. Oh, this is familiar as well. I don't know where it is from. My memory on movies is pretty good, and stories or books that I've read. But this one rings a bell, I just can't remember it. Okay, anyway. Got it, Derp. Okay, Rider 81. The Knoll camp outside of town is flooded. They are looking for a new home. Oh, okay, all right. They are currently flooded. Okay. Looking for a new home, and the town is their new home. Rumors are both important and fun. Honestly, do people want to do 200 rumors? I thought 100 rumors was good enough. You want 200 rumors? 200? That's a lot. Look, if you guys are having fun and you want to keep doing them, it's fine with me. I don't mind. 200 seems a bit excessive, but anyway. A gnome has found out how to fly without magic. Okay. Yeah, it's called falling. He now knows how to fall gracefully. Ah, dear. He's built himself a flying machine. You definitely want 200. Well, here's the problem. Since look, you and Fred Haber and Rider 81 are presenting all the ideas. Both you and Fred Haber are patrons. If you guys want 200, we'll make 200. Like, that's fine. Fred says sweet. I don't think Fred's going to worry too much about that himself, but we'll soon find out. He'll let us know. The librarian is quite upset. Someone's kept a book on local history overdue for months. Oh, this is weird. Okay. Let's put it in though. There we go. It almost has. Does anybody remember the big hit with Mr. Posey, when he was younger? I can't remember his name. I can't remember the actor's name, but basically he had an overdue video title, and this rather aggressive video attendant is constantly ringing him about this overdue movie, which he's never taken out because his girlfriend has. It kind of reminds me of that. A Witch in the Wood made a house out of cakes and candies. Hansel and Gretel. Well done. We've got a Hansel and Gretel. And we're pasting it. So we're up to 89 for those of you. I've put in 89 of these ideas. I'll do 500 if you... Oh, God. So we're doing 200 then, that means. So it means we're doing a minimum of 200. Well, okay. If that's what you really want, people, and rumors is a big thing for you, it looks like 100 became 200. This is very, very... Okay, all right. There's no way I'm going to be able to easily cull through this little sucker. They say the mayor isn't just holding late night meetings for town affairs. The baker's wife has been seen leaving his residence more than once. Oh, yeah, but it's not an affair, people. Don't jump to conclusions. It's not an affair. There's something else going on. Yeah. When there's baking involved, you know it's far more insidious. Next. Xavier, hello, how are you? I do. So let me know. Do you love Rider 81, Mr. F Hubber, or Derp, or is it this for me? Is this related for me or is this for the others? Because they're doing a very good job of this. I think 100 has become 200 now. Um, a list of more than 100 is too long to be useful. Yeah, realistically, that was my approach to thinking about this. I'm happy to split them up and have it. So let's make 100 for a town and 100 for a village. Because it's for me. Well, thank you very much. So this is where you might discover that I often do some of the work, but right now my the chat is doing all of the work. I'm just writing stuff down. So well, let's do 100 for a town, and I can release that hopefully at the end of the week. Although the end of the week for me, what does that consist of? That's right, we're going back over remastering the Rogue, which is going to be a huge 4 or 5 hour live stream. I don't know how much energy I'll have after that one. But no, we'll do that, and we'll do another 100 since Derp has asked for 200. We'll do 2 separate lists, one for villages, one for towns. Okay? Because a village and a town, there is a slight difference. We can do that. And then they become a bit more useful. Yep. Okay. Why worship Crom? The best answer to prayer he has ever given was yellow rain. Okay, all right. Let's get this one going. Oh dear, it's funny stuff. You can see the sense of humour that people have in this chat. Okay, next we are on 91, heading for the 100 mark. The Flying Gnome launcher launched another gnome via trebuchet. The landings need work. Okay, all right. So this almost feels like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, because he used to create all sorts of silly contraptions that used to throw him all over the place. And yeah, one of them was a jet and wings, and he was trying to fly. I don't think he ever used a trebuchet though. Like that's true commitment. Next, let's go here. All right, that's that one down. Next. The house has been empty as long as I can remember. So who keeps opening the curtains? Ah, right at 81. That's the ghost story, right? That's the ghost story. Let's just go back up this a bit. That house has been empty for as long as I can remember. So who keeps opening the curtains? Okay, there we go. Next. Oh, geez, you guys have jumped ahead a lot. Well, to give you an idea, like I'm not saying 200, but 100 we'll get to. We're on 93 right now. I think it's going to happen today. Okay, we can all, like I said, basically we come back some of the time and we do another list for villages. Children playing near the cliffs found a hidden cave filled with ancient paintings. The elders can't decipher their meaning. Ah, okay, got it. Not really sure where that came from. I'm not familiar with that one at all. Your creation, correct? All right, let's have a look. Next. I don't think it is that more than 100 is not useful. It's just that it's not much more useful than 100. It's fun to make though. So as I said, we will do 2 lists of 100. Okay, and because I do feel like, you know, whether you select them or roll for them, there's only so much use you can get out of it. Do you know what I mean? Because a list of 100 is going to be something you can use for a very long time. Yep. You helped me out a lot. Oh, did I? Keep up the good work. Look, if I've been helping you and it's been working for you, really glad to hear that. Like that's a good thing. I'm never too sure if I'm on the right track sometimes, but yeah, it's good to hear that somebody finds what I do useful. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. The barber has been send the here to the dwarves. Send the hair to the dwarves. Apparently they can't grow beards because of a. All right, so we need to slightly adjust this right at 81, but I get where you're going with this. We will just slightly adjust it. The barber has been sent the hair to the dwarves. This is a really odd one. Apparently the dwarves can't grow beards because of a curse. Okay, so this is let's try this. Let's try this again. What sentence? Okay, I think I got that right. Okay, that's all sorted. A little bit of adjustment to make that sort of work, but I got it. So right at 81, it's down. Okay. We are 95. Haberdashery makes cursed hats. Thanks, Fred. I appreciate your you've managed to tie me back into this so quickly. Is this because I'm wearing the hat again? Like, the joke's on me wearing hats is you guys don't get sick of it, do you? Anyway, someone has been leaving bags of silver on the doorsteps of needy families. No one knows who or why. Oh, I like that one. Anyway, oh, please tell me I'm not getting sick. Not full-blown sick. I don't need it. Thank you very much. I want to get sick just before I go on holiday. 3 more weeks and I'm on holiday. And I seem to get sick. Hello, Lauren. How are you? I finally got down to your comment. I've been working through this list. How are you doing, Lauren? Okay. J. Lauren, welcome. Anyway, this is silly, but I avoid elves because players think they are cringe, but secretly love him. So this is a rumor. We will include it. Okay, so we have added it to our love him. Love him. Love. Let's go love them. Okay. All right. 2 more and that makes 100. 2 more and it makes 100, people. Like that's where we're at. We're so close. Okay. Hunters in the forest report seeing a creature with golden fur and horns that grow in the dark. I'm not sure about that one. Okay. Sweet. Golden fur and horns that glow in the dark. It certainly sounds like a magical stag story. The fortune teller travels through time. Do they? Okay. Let us make it clear. Let me show you what has been done. Like this is why combining brain power gets a lot more done, people. More than you can imagine. So, there are now 100. 100 of these ideas are now down. That means if we scroll all the way through and you needed various, now obviously there are a few things I need to adjust on here, okay? But this is 100 town rumors. And I did promise that we would do village rumors. So let's just roll it all the way down here, since that seems to be where we're going with this, which is cool. And we'll go here. You guys seem to be having a good time, so let's continue. Village rumors, and we'll hit the 1. I will bold and underline. Bold, underline, italic. Is it supposed to be italic? Maybe it's not supposed to be italic. I can't remember. No, I didn't italic it, did I? There's no need to do that. Let's just unitalic that. Unitalic. There. Okay. So let me jump over to my screen and just plug in a new prompt, and yeah, we'll go from there. I will use what you've put in here, people, because it's probably going to, village, town, it's probably going to relate. So let me put in here. Hashtag, what are some small village rumors? There we go. Small village rumors, people. I need a drink of water. No, I remember the time that this happened to me, and I went for too long, and I'm still trying to deal with the list of shops. Do people remember the time we did the list of shops? That list, I'm still trying to work my way through. It was so much information. Okay, so fortune teller was the last one we dealt with. Haberdashery, fortune teller. That's why my house has a hull. I'm a hull. I don't remember. I remember the last time it rained here. That's why my house has a hull. I am slightly lost by this. Little lost by that. It rained here. Oh. I remember the last time it rained here. That's why my house has a hull. That's why my house. I'm just gonna say it's a boat. It's basically a boat. Okay, I see what you're doing with that. I got it. If you worship something enough, it becomes a deity. True in some mythologies. Yes, it does. Let's do this. Yep. Got it. Something enough, it will become a deity. Got it. Fred, it is down. We've got writers. Not well. This is a little lost on this one. A little lost on some of these. These are a little hard to get my head around, but I'm doing my best. You think it's thunder you hear? Maybe you should visit the mountains. Okay. I think we're going to call it the shifting. This is sort of like isn't the story from The Hobbit that the mountains wage war on each other, like giants? Feels a little bit like that. Lauren, Katoa worked that way, I believe. So, you missed us. I'm glad you. Okay, well, I'm glad that you missed hanging out. Child on the way, Lauren. Totally understand if you've got a child on the way. Children have to come first. Totally get that. Now, Katoa. Work that way, I believe. Katoa work that way, I believe. They can't be trusted. We'll add that in there. Okay, so. Let's keep going. Thunder is just the gods bowling. Okay, all right. Let's do this one. In. Next is just the gods bowling. Okay, it's just gods bowling. Okay, yes, got it. Next. A group of scholars is camping outside town, observing the night sky. They believe a rare celestial event is about to occur. All right, so this is our rumor, and it's not going to be a town. I'm going to make it a village. We're villaging it this time. We're going small village. Right. Good. Got it. It is down, Derp. It is down. Okay. A meteor lands on the scholars. The town square once had a fourth statue, but it vanished overnight decades ago. Some say it wanders the countryside. Curious and interesting, Derp. Actually quite entertaining. Let's take this one. And the village square, town square, village square. The village square centre. The village centre once had four statues, but a fourth statue, but it vanished overnight decades ago. Some say it wanders the countryside. Okay, let's do that. We're in. The milkmaid never got the pox because she's a witch. Could well be. There's always somebody who's a witch, right? All right, let's do this. She's a witch. Either that or she just looks after herself. Cool, there's a few here. You guys are really smoking it, aren't you? Cool, blimey. Okay, a new type of flower was found in the meadows. One that no one recognizes. It's beautiful, but has a strange, intoxicating aroma. All right, good Derp. I've got that one. It's going in. We are up to number 9 on our village rumors. Okay. I wonder if we can do a cross-reference on these leads later, which give an alternative hypothesis for some phenomena. I am lost, Lauren. I'm not sure what to do with that. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to do with this. A hermit from the woods visited the market yesterday. He warned of a great storm coming, one like we've never seen. Right, okay, all right. That's a rumour. the great storm is coming or it's not. Okay, next. Reality. I chose my land for my new house because sea level would have to rise 800 feet for it to flood. Oh, I see. This is a fact, Fred. Okay, I get it. Reality. Okay, all right. This is not for this. Okay, yes. Well, I'm on a hill too, so I'm in a flood zone where I live. Helensville is a flood zone. It's very flat, and unfortunately, if there's very heavy rain, like all the paddocks around us just fill with water. It looks like a great huge ocean around us, for as far as you can see, and then you get to the hills. So yeah, it's kind of like a huge lake, and so it's really sensible to put your house on a hill. Anyway, they say children sire here just this season have X attribute. Well, he would pay you 25 GP to spread that far for his peak season. Okay. They say it's okay. All right. Okay. Okay. They say children sire here during this season have X attribute. Oh. Okay. Give me a second while I think about this a little bit. Taking this and okay. They say children sired here during the winter season have strange attributes. Let's just do that. I think that's, yeah. Born. Okay, I'll just go with born. Okay, let's do this. Okay, next, farmer. Farmer Joe's wife found a way to keep fruit fresh without magic. It's called a fridge. It's called a fridge. Anyway, let's put that in. Well done, Fred. Okay, next. Witches are wood. You test by dropping them in a pond. If they come back up, they're a witch. Right, if they float. Yeah, but bodies do the same thing. So you're taking the old witch hunt concepts and porting it over here. Witches are made of wood. You test. Okay, all right. So let me at least show you what we've got here, because I'm probably going to wrap it here. Why? Because I know I'm never going to be able to catch up with you otherwise, and I have to go to work. So in about 20 minutes. So I would prefer to be able to catch up rather than try to figure out how to do it when I don't have time. So we have all of our town rumours right up to 100. Okay, that they're all there. Village rumours up to 13. There's a few more to add, of course, but not bad. A very decent effort. You guys have done a marvellous job. Very impressed. but what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the poll. All right, I'm going to end the poll, and I'm going to say, let's end it here. So for those of you who want to know what's happening during the week, okay, I have quite a few different things planned for this week before we move into the following week. But so far, the plan is as follows. So tomorrow, the live stream that I'll be running is around game master preparation, and we'll be dealing with fantastic locations. Okay, I haven't decided what that might look like in terms of fantastic locations, but there is, game master preparation has a set program that I usually run, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, we'll see how that works out. In any case, we'll be going over another monster in terms of monster lore the day after that. So that's tomorrow's fantastic locations. Then we'll be doing monster lore the day after that, and we're dealing with a mountain of a titan. We'll be dealing with the day after that. We'll be dealing with wizard character creation for Pathfinder 2nd edition. We'll be going over basic combat mechanics for Dungeons & Dragons, the core Dungeons & Dragons 5e rules. I have a presentation that I'll be running. I'm doing that primarily because I need a kind of a break. I just haven't had enough time to be able to get stuff done. There's been so much going on. And then at the end of the week, Friday for me, Thursday for you in North America, we'll be going over upgrading the Rogue for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. I hope to have the first draft for that ready to go at the end of that live stream, which will be about 4 or 5 hours long. It's a very long live stream. There's a lot of work to get done in that time frame. That'll be mostly me cranking stuff through, but for sure people's opinions will change how I think. And anyway, I wanted to say a huge thank you to Ryder81, F Hubber, and Derp. You guys have done a magnificent job in providing so many different ideas. It's really impressive. In any case, I think this is a good point to stop for today. Anyway, I want to say huge thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep running this program. I really do appreciate it. It's most welcome, and I hope that once these have sort of run their course, we will be able to release the material and information, at least as a first draft, onto Patreon. I haven't done this with the Running Adventures streams, but that is sort of the intention. There will be, of course, the 100 Town Rumours will be going onto Patreon probably at the end of the week with any luck, okay, provided I get enough time to do it all. So huge thank you to everybody who's been listening and watching, taking part in the poll, and as I said, a huge thank you to those people who've been taking part in the creation of this. Ryder81, F Hubber, Derp, you've all been magnificent. Lauren has also been helping out, providing their ideas as well, and anybody else I might have missed, hey, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. So look, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.